Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jen and this is my Flosstube channel where I talk about cross stitch mostly, also sometimes a little bit of knitting. I am here today with Flosstube number 5. This will be a regular Flosstube update where I share everything I have been working on in the last couple of weeks since my third video, which I think was exactly 2 weeks ago. I did have a video in the middle. Flosstube number 4 was a kit parade, so go check that out if you haven't. Otherwise, I'm going to get into everything that I have been up to. I have one start and finish, 10 other whips to share. I have some haul, and I do have the giveaways winners from Flosstube number 3. So I'm going to start with the giveaways. So the first giveaway was for this Fancy That chart. It is called Be True, and it has this little Valentine's Day angel. And the winner of this was Linda James. I will put your comment up on the screen. So Linda, if you would email me at jensfiberweb@gmail.com with your address, I will get that in the mail to you. The next pattern I had up for giveaway was Quilty Love by Lori Holt. And this pattern went to Stephanie Gallart. So Stephanie, if you could also email me, please, I will get that sent off to you. And finally, I had January Quaker by From the Heart Needle Art by Wendy. There we go. And the winner of this was Pepper 1990 Me. So if you could also email me, I will mail that out to you. Okay, thank you everyone who entered. Thank you for all your kind comments. I loved reading through everything everyone had to say. That's a super fun part of this for me, so I appreciate that. Okay, shall we get into the stitching? I only started one thing in the last 2 weeks, which is pretty good for me, and that was my February Quaker, and I also finished it. So here it is. So this is February Quaker by From the Heart Needle Art by Wendy. I did not use the called for colors for this. I don't think any of them are the called for. I had this pink in stash. It's an old classic colorwork spec when they used to be called crescent colors, I think. And then I don't know what I used for the red and green. 2 other overdyed flosses. So, did this turn out looking a little Christmassy? Yes. Does my red little bottom of this bouquet sort of look like a chili pepper? Yes. But I like it. I think the original was 2 colors of pink, and I just wanted to do it a little different. So, if you watch my previous episodes, you will know that the January Quaker took me 9 days. I had to frog a bunch of different sections. I think almost every motif I screwed up at some point. This one took me 3 days. I think there were a couple times I maybe had to unpick a few stitches, and one of the motifs is not exactly in the right place, but it's nothing major, and yes, this one was much more enjoyable and quicker to get through. So that is my start and finish for February. So next I'm going to go through my whips. So I'm going to go kind of in order of when I started working on them. There's a lot of full coverage whips today. And so I will give some stats around how many stitches I got in and how far along the projects are. The first thing that I worked on right at the end of January after I filmed last was my Peppermint Rose. So here's where I got to. I will put a picture up on the screen of what this will look like when it is complete. This was a mystery stitch along that happened last year on Facebook from the Cross Stitch Studio. So I talked in previous episodes about how this works. You pay for the pattern, and then when you join the Facebook group, you give them your order number and your name. And then the Facebook group is where they distribute the pages. So every 2 weeks you get one page throughout the year. They're doing another one this year. The theme is fashionable pet. This is last year's, so I'm still only on page 2, but I am 44% done with this second page. And I talked about this before, how I'm sort of, where the letters are, I'm doing cross country, and then I'm going back through and using a parking method to do all the background fill in, because there's a lot of different shades of yellow in there. And this one is on a 28 count easy grid, and I am doing 1/1 full cross. So yeah, going well. So that was Peppermint Rose. I put in about 1,000 stitches in that since you saw it last. So the next one I worked on is another full coverage. This one is called Absorbing the Earth and Sky. Again, I will put in a picture. This is the one that is a little bit naughty. It's not that naughty. There's just, a booty. It's fine. So this one I also put in about 1,000 stitches. Here's where I'm at. You can see I am parking with this one. I'm sort of doing squares and a diagonal. And I have all these cloudy sky colors going on so far. I have enjoyed using these pastel colors. This one is a kit that I got from Unconventional X Stitch. They are in Australia. So the fabric, which is a 25 count easy guide, and all of the DMC colors came in the kit. They give full skeins. I have a bunch of new colors to add to my DMC stash because I'm not going to use all of the full skeins. Yeah, and this one has been really fun. So I'm thinking once I get down closer to the body of the woman in the photo, I might be doing more cross country. But this parking method is working really well so far in the sky. The back of the fabric is not too crazy thick because there's not too much confetti yet. So that is Absorbing the Earth and Sky. Okay, next I got out my Chromatic Dragon, which is from Paine Free Crafts. This is what it will look like when it is complete. This one I have put in 2,800 stitches. Last time I showed this, I had a bunch of parked threads because I tried doing a parking method with this, but there's so much confetti that it was just insane, and I decided to start working all of them in. And let me put this one over. Here's how far I got. I got all of those crazy parked threads worked in. There are 2 parked threads remaining at the bottom that I didn't want to keep going too far away from everything else. Can you see all of the colors in the horns? This background is 310, and then it's like fading into 939, which is hard to see on screen, and then more blues and dark greens. And then this is the scales of the back of the dragon's head starting to come in. So yeah, this one is at 19.7, no, did I say 19? 13.7%. No. So I worked on this weekend on Saturday for the Lunar New Year. I decided not to start a new dragon. I decided to stick with the dragons I already have. Yeah, and I'm really enjoying this. I'm trying to sort of go through now and do like a typewriter method style thing in these scales back here, and I'm just picking out the next open space and then taking that color as far as I can until I either run out of thread or there's nothing else nearby. Yeah, and this one is also on 28 count, and this is the only one that I have that I'm doing 10 stitch. And I think it works really well for this particular chart. So I like how it's going. Okay, so that was Chromatic Dragon. Next, I have one of my whip go calls for this month was Poisonous Plants by Witchy Stitcher, and I gave myself the goal to finish this. When I showed this in my whip parade, all I had done was one of these plants. I had the foxglove done. This is pretty wrinkly. Okay, So yeah, when I showed it, I just had foxglove. So far this month, I have put in the bleeding heart, the wolf's bane, which is the purple flower, the hemlock, which is the white, and all of that border. So there are still 6 more plants. There's 5 in the bottom row and 1 more that goes right here next to the hemlock. So what I'm trying to do is I'm doing like one of the flowers and then a chunk of the border and then the next flower and a chunk of the border. And then I do have to go back in and put the names in still. The chart calls for 2 strands for the backstitch for the names. And I tried it with that and I thought it was harder to read. So I'm doing it with 1. And I'm using all the called for DMCs for this. So I think I should be able to finish this. If I just do 1 plant and a chunk of the frame per day, that's pretty easy to get through. So that's only 6 more days. So I'm planning to finish this by the end of the month, which will be exciting. Okay, my next whip. If you follow me on Instagram, you will have seen I posted my progress on this. This is my other dragon whip that I got out this weekend. So I got this out Friday night. And on Friday night, I realized that the last time I had stitched on it last year, I actually screwed up. So I had to pick out a bunch of my stitches and redo them. But here is of dragons and apples. I will put in the picture of what it will look like when it's done. This was another stitch along that happened last year, I think. So last time I showed this, I had started this panel and this bottom corner, but they were both only partially done. I hadn't finished like the borders that go around them. So this guy that's stitched in relief or whatever you call that, that was a lot of stitching, and that was where my mistake was. So this part right here, I had started to fill in this black, and it was all shifted down 2 rows because I had miscounted like in this wing. And then when I went to put in the gray parts of the wing, I realized it was wrong, so I had to unpick and redo that. But I am very happy with how he's looking. Or I guess it's she. How she is looking. And then yeah, I did this bottom, I finished this bottom square, which was easy and quick. I am using just DMC for this. I have 310 is the main color. Oh, and I have the colors right here. I have 413 for the gray, and then I have this crazy 606 red orange that I'm using for the apples and the flowers. I don't remember if those are the called for colors. I think the designer used a variegated floss where I have the like pewter gray color. But yeah, I love this. It's at a really good stopping point right now, and I have other things I need to work on, but I don't want to put it away. I want to keep it out. However, I said that about Farming Magic last time, and despite leaving it out on my table where I can see it, I have not picked it up. So I think I do have this on my Whip Go board, and it hasn't been called yet. So this might be going away until it does get called again. Oh, and I don't know what this fabric is. It's a mystery linen. I think it might be 32 count. Yeah. Okay, and then my other Whip Go call for this month was 5 days on Reaching Skyward by Modern Folk Embroidery, which, if you are not familiar, looks like this. And so far I have put in 2 days, so I still have 3 days left, and I got it past the 10% mark. So here it is. When I showed this on my Whip Parade, this top like ribbon banner was not done yet. I was about halfway across. And I think like most of this tree was done. I think I had these birds in and the branches that they're sitting on, but I did not have the urns yet, or the larger bird that is standing in between. So yeah, two days has gotten me through all of what I was supposed to do in January last year. So I'm well into the slice that was meant for February. And yeah, I have 3 days left. So I'm hoping now that I got this top border done that I can get through some of this a little bit faster. Um, because that was like, it repeats. And it's not very difficult, but it was like just hard enough that I had to slow down and double check that I was doing the right thing each time. It just seemed like it took a lot of effort to get through that. So, oh, you can tell I'm using 3 colors for this one. They're all DMC, and the sort of pinky color, I think I might, like I used it for these leaves and some of these little snowflakey looking star things up here, but I want that to be used very sparsely throughout from here on. So from here on, it's mostly just going to be the 2 grays, and I'll see if there are good spots to pop that in later down the line. Another reason that this was taking me a while is because I have the main pattern in Pattern Keeper, but this is the one where Jacob gave us a bunch of different options for different sections, and I chose a bunch of alternates, which are not in Pattern Keeper. So that 10% that I mentioned is based on me just marking complete the equivalent things in place of these, and I don't know if the stitch counts are the same, so like, it's an estimate. Okay, so that's going to get 3 more days this month. And then I had started this before my last video, but this is one of my other projects that I would like to finish this month, and that is Valentine Rose from Blackbird. Oh, let me show you what the pattern looks like because I have this one. This is the Anniversaries of the Heart, pattern number 2. I finished Snow Garden in January, and then I started this one a couple days early before February started. So yeah, this is how far I got. I put in the border that goes all the way around. I started this urn in the bottom with these flowers. There's another flower up here. I finished framing out the windows. I put in this bird. So this is another one. Let me show you. I had the same problem with Snow Garden where the called for colors, the dye lots that I have, do not look like the picture. So for this month, I'm using all the called for colors. And it's that bird and the border for me. Mine is much more yellow, and on here it looks greener, like a gray green. So I'm just going with it. The color for the bricks I like, the color for the roof is fine. This pattern has a bunch of specialty stitches. So there are eyelets in the roof. There is chain stitch around the flowers that are in the basket in front of the house. Oh, and there's satin stitch here too. Let me see if I can show. So there's satin stitch in this base. It's in like a checkerboard pattern. I don't know if you can see. And then the chain stitch goes around the flowers. That was fun. I'd never done that before. And then the eyelets in the roof are kind of hard to see, but they do give it a different texture. So I think I kind of like how it's working. So I still have to finish filling in the house and put in this big tall heart thing with the berries. But these stitch up pretty quick, so I don't think I should have a problem finishing it by the end of the month. The Snow Garden whip only took me 3 days to finish. This one, I don't know if because it has that big house, it's like a lot more stitches, or just I'm not feeling this one as much. But I've already worked on it more than 3 times, and I don't think I'm even halfway done yet. So hopefully I will be able to stick with that one. I don't want to bail on it. I do have March's pattern ready. I don't know if I have picked out a fabric for that. I'll have to see what I have. Also, a lot of people did those Anniversaries of the Heart all on one big piece of fabric, which I think looks cool because there's the way that the patterns, like March, I think is a bunch of words. So the way that they all line up together, it turns out to look balanced really well. And on their own, some of them might look a little bit strange, like that March one. But I'm planning on finding some backing fabric and making them all into a bunch of pillows that have the same fabric on the back. And then I could display them in a little bowl or something, or make like a bunting out of them, perhaps. I'm not sure yet, but that is sort of my rough plan. I think the first two that I did are already on different count fabrics too, so they're not going to be exactly the same size where I could interchange them in like a frame or something. Okay, so my last whip that I have to show you is Prairie Wind by Carolyn Manning. This is what it will look like when it is done. I am at 38.25% on this one. This is the top. Okay. Yes, 38.26%. And I worked on this for 2 days since I showed it last. I finished 2 more colors. So I finished this green color that you see. It's like in a bunch of little triangles. And then also I finished this like burgundy, which was all like squares. So that one actually went really fast because the little triangles, you know, you have to move around more often and cut your thread and pop over somewhere else. So the squares go faster for me. And yeah, I think I only have like 15 or so colors left to do. And I'm still trying. Every time I pick it up, I'm just trying to see if I can finish one more color, so that I can put it away. And my project bag keeps getting slimmer and slimmer, which I love. Okay, so that was Prairie Wind. So those were all of my whips. I showed you my start and finish. Yeah, so I'm going to move into plans now. So I already mentioned I would like to finish Valentine Rose by Blackbird this month. I would like to finish Poisonous Plants by the Witchy Stitcher. I have 3 more days left on Reaching Skyward by Modern Folk Embroidery. And then there are a few things that I haven't mentioned yet. So one, I would like to do a Long Dog Leap Day start. And the long dog that I have picked is Froth and Bubble. I showed this in my kit parade. And since my kit parade, my flosses have come in. I did decide to order all of the Classic Colorworks overdyed floss for this. This is the piece of fabric that I picked. It is a 32 count vellum Belfast linen by Picture This Plus. I don't know if it's going to show well today. It's greenish. If I put it away from the sun a little bit, you can kind of see down here maybe that that's green. It's like a sagey green. The modeling is a little bit darker than the rest. Okay, and then these colors are so fantastic. I'm going to see if I can try to hold these up and show you. It's going to be a little bit awkward, but I posted a picture of this on Instagram, and I don't know what it is with my phone, but when I first snap the picture, it looks good, and then my phone does like this auto-correcting to the color, which toned everything down, which is not what I wanted. But okay, let's see if I can hold all these up at the same time. Oop, I got the project back too. All right. I'm just going to do this. I've got bright, happy pinks and blues. There are some purpley shades, more sky blue, some greens. This pink is a little yellowier, like a coral. Okay, let's try this. It's going to be awesome. I don't know if it's coming across how awesome it's going to be, but it's going to be amazing. So I'm going to start this on Leap Day. That is my plan. Okay, so that's Froth and Bubble. I'm going to start that on the 29th. And then this week is Full Coverage Fanatics Facebook group. They're having an event called Big Strides where you are supposed to choose your largest full coverage piece and just focus on it for the week and see how much progress you can get. So my biggest full coverage piece is Someplace for Me, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. Artwork by Jenn. I'm gonna have to put the name on the screen. And I just started this last month, so there's just a teeny tiny start. I did a top left corner start. So far it's just some blacks and very, very dark greens. And this is my fantastic needle minder from Mad for Minders that is a perfect companion for this. So I was supposed to start working on this yesterday, and I stole a day from Big Strides to finish up that Dragons and Apples, those 2 panels that I was working on. And I have not stitched on this yet today, but hopefully I will after this. So I will try to work on this every day for the rest of the week, and then I'll be able to show how much progress I got. I did this for my Carolyn Manning piece last month, and I think I got like 6,000 stitches or something like that. It was awesome. Okay, and then one more plan that I have for the rest of February is to start Nora Corbett Pisces. So I had purchased this chart when I finished my Wisteria Pixie. I got the entire kit, everything you need from 123 Stitch. So I have the called for fabric, I have all the beads, and I ordered whatever DMC I didn't already have in stash. This one doesn't have any like water lilies or Chromatic or anything like that, just beads and DMC. So originally I was going to start this for my birthday, but now I'm thinking since I'm turning 40, I might do 4 starts for my birthday, and I want one of them to be Scent of Old Roses by Mirabilia. And I don't want to start a Nora Corbett and a Mirabilia both on my birthday because I wanted to start like 4 different types of things, like a fancy lady, a Quaker, something primitive, and then a kit since I have a lot of, like a pre-made kit, like a dimensions kit, since I have a lot of them. So I am going to start Pisces on February 19th, which is when Pisces starts. That way I don't have to wait and start it on my birthday, but I can still work on it from my birthday on. And I don't think this one will take very long because it's not very big. It's 80 stitches wide by 131 high, so that's really, like, it should be quick, right? And there are a bunch of beads, but I like doing the beads, so yeah, I'm going to start this on the 19th. So that's 2 planned starts, 3 planned finishes for the next 2 weeks, plus my reaching Skyward goal. But I think I can do all of that. And then I haven't decided yet. My birthday is March 2nd, so that's also coming up soon. I haven't decided for sure what all 4 of the pieces are going to be. I want to start a Quaker, and I'm trying to decide between Snow White by Ori TM, Spring Quaker by Leela Studio, and Rose Quaker. So I have all of them ready to go. I have fabric and floss fully kitted. I just want to pick one, and I have some time. I have a few weeks to decide. If you have any opinions about which ones you think I should start, let me know. But in I should film again before my birthday, so I'll be able to share what I'm thinking then in about 2 weeks. Okay, so that is all of the stitching stuff. I do have haul. So if you're not interested in haul, thank you for watching. Oh, I did have a question from a viewer last time. Basically the question, so I meant to talk about that at the beginning. Maybe I'll chop this out and put it at the beginning. The question was basically, since most of us who love to stitch have lengthy, um, like wish lists for patterns, and we have patterns in stash that we like to stitch, we have things kitted up. What is the draw of a mystery stitch, knowing we probably don't have time in our lifetimes to stitch everything that we know we definitely want to stitch? So I thought that was an interesting question. Um, so I will give you my take, and that is that it's like an adventure, right? Um, I think with crafting, there are process crafters and there are product crafters, right? So product crafters like the finished product. They want to hang things on their wall. They want to give gifts. They want to wear the sweater. And then there are the process crafters who really just enjoy learning new things, trying different materials, doing a mystery stitch where you know you like the style of the designer, so you're pretty sure you're going to be happy stitching it, and then you don't really know how it's going to turn out. You could hate it. Like um, the Dark Queen of the Earth from Autumn Lane, I was not super pleased with the choices for her face, which kind of sucks, right? Because I've already put all this work into the dress and the background, and now what do I do? Um, and if it wasn't a mystery stitch along, obviously I would have known from the beginning, like, I'm not into that, I'm not going to stitch it. But I still think it was fun. I'm still, I have still joined mystery stitch along since then. I joined Castle Homecoming, of Dragons and Apples was a mystery sale. The full coverage mysteries. Like, I'm into it. I don't know. I think it's fun. It's also nice that it comes out in chunks, and so I don't have to think about, like, where do I want to stitch next. Like, you just stitch whatever's available, um, which is kind of a nice mental break from decision making. Uh, but yeah, I'm in it for the process. I'm in it for the adventure. That appeals to me. And just like anything in stitching, like, it's not for everyone. Like, um, full coverage isn't for everyone. Primitive stitching isn't for everyone. Um, Cutesy sew to stitch patterns aren't for everyone. So, if a mystery stitch along or a mystery knit along or whatever doesn't appeal to you, then you don't have to do it. You can wait until it's out and choose to buy it after, or just, skip it all together and focus on all the things you want. Um, but yeah, I'm just here for the process and trying new things and being creative with colors and fabrics, and yeah. So there's my answer for what's the appeal of a mystery stitch along. Um, oh, and then I do also have a little bit of knitting. So the first and only thing I have knit on so far this year is a hot water bottle cover. So let me grab that. This is my hot water bottle, and here's the cover. I am knitting this in Cascade 220. I think the color is like amethyst heather. I don't know if you can see, it's got like grays and a little bit of pink and purple all sort of marled together. It's really pretty. And this is a free pattern that I found on Ravelry. It is just called Hot Water Bottle Cover. The design name is Maker Maker. I will put the information on the screen and show you what it will look like. I have like a half of an inch more, I think, to knit before I start doing decreases, and then there's like a ribbed roll over like collar for the top of this. So this, I think I've worked on this like 2 or 3 times. It's a very quick knit. Probably if I work on it 1 or 2 more times, it'll be done. And if you don't have a hot water bottle, you should get one. Just saying. And then this, I did knit this sweater as well. This is a Jenn Steingass pattern called Fern and Feather or Feather and Fern. I can never remember which one. So the original design was just 2 colors, And I think it might have been one where I think she had a green main color, and then these little guys were like a whitish light gray. So I decided to sort of flip it, and then I wanted to make it look like little flowers. They sort of look like lavender or like a thistle, I don't know. It has like just a rolled neckline, so you don't have to stitch any ribbing. You just start stitching stockinette, and then stockinette rolls over on its own. That's just how it behaves because of the back of the stitch being bigger than the front. There is some ribbing at the cuff and the hem, but it's pretty much just a basic round yoke sweater. I knit this in it was a yarn that came in my subscription box, which was called Knit Crate. It was a Knit Crate yarn. I think they have since gone out of business, but this is a Knit Crate yarn. It is like a blown yarn. Ascendance. It's called Vitellana Ascendance. And yeah, you can see more information on my Ravelry page if you would like to go check it out. I don't remember like what size I knit or anything like that. Okay. All right. Now all I have left to talk about is haul. So if you're not interested in seeing haul, thank you for watching. Hopefully I will see you next time. And now I'm going to get into everything that has come in recently. So let me move this out of the way. I'm trying not to crinkle. I know on my kid parade, I tried to be mindful about the zippers, but I did not realize how loud the plastic crinkling was going to be, and I was doing it right next to my laptop, which is where my microphone is, which was a bad choice. Okay. Well, let me get my haul. Speaking of plastic wrap, okay, I'm going to try not to be noisy. I don't remember if I showed these already. I got the next 3 monthly Quakers from the heart. So here is April. I have 2 of the called for colors. I ordered all 3 from 123 Stitch, and instead of olive branch, they sent me wasabi, and I emailed them, and I swear they emailed me back within like 5 minutes saying, oh, so sorry, that was a mistake on our part. Keep wasabi as a gift, and we'll send out olive branch right away. So they already shipped it. It's on its way. I'm curious if this is going to be another case where the dye lots don't match. So far, these 2 colors look pretty good. We'll see what olive branch looks like. And then May Quaker is these sort of tealy greens and purple, and I got all 3 of those. So that is lemongrass, pickled beets, and camouflage. And then June has these sort of yellowy colors and a blue. It's Finley Gold, Avocado, and Old Blue Jeans. And these look pretty similar to the front, so that kind of matches my nail polish too. Yeah, so I have those 3 ready to go once I get to the months. I thought about starting them early since February went so quickly. One of the floss tubers that I have been watching, CXC by Tan, I think on YouTube, so on Instagram she's CXC by Tan. On YouTube she is the Monogamous Stitcher. I will put her information down below. She's just doing them like back to back to back, and I think she's already done with, I know she's already done with May. I don't remember if she finished June. So I was sort of inspired by her, but I think I'm gonna, because I want to be able to get all of my other goals accomplished too, I think I'm just gonna wait and do them in the month. Okay, and then in the second-hand market, I got a batch of Halloween patterns for a really good price. So I got Field Mouse Hollow by With Thy Needle and Thread. This is a Brenda Gervais pattern. Super cute. Witchy mice in a witch shoe. I got Pineberry Lane Jiggity Jig. Love it. Those look more like pitchforks than brooms, but they're probably brooms, right? Another Pineberry Lane. This is Fancy, wait, what is this called? Fancy Black Cat October Ride. So we've got a very pale witch and then a pumpkin-headed bestie. There's a Jardin Privé. Stitch, stitch, and forget the time. And two more. There's Silver Creek Samplers. Where's the title? Scary Things October Brings. Ghosts, black cats, flying bats, scary things unseen. Pumpkins glowing, winds are blowing. Boo, it's Halloween. Fun. And then this is Halloween Happy by Sam Sarah Design Studio. This reminds me of Witchy Stitcher, a bunch of her Patreon patterns. She has like I Made Crafting Bat, which has a bat holding up a little like bunting of pink paper dolls. I made them pink. I think they might have been pink in the pattern. I used like a few different pinks. That one was fun. So yeah, this reminds me of that. Super cute. And then, oh, I showed those three Quaker monthly Quakers. One of them actually was out of stock at 123 Stitch, so I ordered it from Hollis Hands Create on Etsy. And when I was in her shop, I saw she had some charts on sale, and one of them was the Blue Flower Huckleberry Farm. So I grabbed that. I love the Blue Flower. I have the Gentle Rain, I have Moonlight Sampler, I have Night Walk Down, and I have another one of the bigger ones. I can't remember right now. So I will just add this to my collection. I kind of wanted one of them to be a birthday start, but none of those are ones that are in my fully kitted section of stuff that I just showed in my last video. So I want to pick something that's already kitted. But yeah, I love the bears in this one. And I like the yellow house. It's different than a lot of the houses you see in cross stitch. Okay. I also got my first primitive hair pattern, which is Witches of Salem. I know this was pretty popular. When did it come out? 2017, it looks like this came out. So I was not stitching then. I had seen some people working on this, you know, as just like an old whip. Oh yeah, it says right on the bottom 2017. So I grabbed this, and I bought this also from somebody on Mercari, and she sent me a note saying that her great-grandma was one of these women. I can't remember which one, but I thought that was really cool. So I have that. And then I guess I was feeling a little bit of FOMO about all of the people starting Teresa Wentzler dragons lately. So I went on a little bit of a Teresa Wentzler hunt, and I found some charts for pretty good prices, mostly on eBay, I think. So I'm going to show you what I got. I got the castle. Somebody just finished this one. I just saw it on Instagram. I can't remember who it was. But that's a fantastic dragon. I got Fantasy Sampler, which also has a dragon in addition to the 4 beasties in the corners. There's a unicorn, a pegasus, a lion, and what is this, a griffin? I think that's what you call that, right? Griffin. I got Woodland Fairy. I like her. She looks fun. Her face looks super, like, I don't know, realistic. Like, you know, sometimes, like, Nora Corbett's faces are more sort of artistic, like silhouette looking, like you can see the eyelashes and the nose, but that was like an actual face. I got The Storyteller, which it seems like a bunch of people are working on right now. Did the Hugo Stitcher start this one? I don't remember. I think she started one of these. And then I also got this booklet of the Four Seasons fairies. So it has these two on the front, and then it also has the patterns for these two on the back. I think I like this one the best. Okay, so now I have a Teresa Wentzler stash collection. I have a Teresa Wentzler collection. And then I also saw this Stony Creek book called Country Living. It's book 130. And this has 5 patterns in it, which are like these sort of farmhousey scenes. I like this one. And then on the back, they have that same one pictured again, which is this. That was on the front. But I like this one too. And then the foliage in that bottom one is nice. Fall trees. And then more like a smaller cabin looking house. So yeah, I don't have any plans to start any of these, but I grabbed them. Oh, and then one more. I found a, this one's going to be noisy. I found a Joan Elliott kit. So this is Spring Fairy. She has some metallic thread. She has some beads. I like all the mushrooms at the bottom and the little birds that are hanging out, butterflies. And then it comes with Ada, it looks like, and all the floss and the beads. So yeah, I can add that one to my collection of kits. Okay, I think that might be everything. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to mention. I made some notes. I think I went through everything. Yeah, so if you're still here, thank you for watching. I should be back in about 2 weeks. Also, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who has watched my whip parade, my kit parade, any of the videos in between. I'm not really sure what my expectations were when I started my channel, but I did not think I would have this many followers this quickly. So I appreciate you being here and all the comments and finding me over on Instagram. Feel free to reach out, be happy to chat. If you're working on any of the projects that I'm working on, or you want to do a start along of anything that I have going soon, let me know. Yeah, so otherwise, take care, happy stitching, and I will see you next time.